We are seeing a lot of single Inferno towers at the top of Legends to counter those Queen Charge or perhaps those Root Rider attacks. But in today's video, I'll be able to showcase and highlight how you can dominate with the Queen Charge Root Riders to overcome those single Inferno towers at the top of Legends. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. Alright, and first up we do have is this common ring base, or perhaps it was an Itu base. And you can really just already note there, it's actually 3 single Inferno towers there, up in there to actually stop those Root Rider attacks and of course those Queen Charge attacks. But nonetheless, we are coming in here super early with this Yeti blimp. We are going to actually take down this Eagle artillery compartment there and then setting this funnel up on the right hand side to where you can already see where we are going to try to Queen Charge into that compartment. Because with the charge going into there and already learning that CC, what I essentially want to do with this queen is actually push her into this compartment and then push her towards that town hall into the single in the monolith. And that's again where this Skelly spell is going to be able to come in handy so that I can use to actually tank those 2 defenses. So nonetheless, either way, this CC is going to be pretty annoying to be able to handle at the start. And if you already know, the CC was in the core, and if you actually have to deal with that while taking on the monolith and the single, your queen actually will not make it through there. Or perhaps you probably could, but you would invest every single one of your frees and potentially that invisibility and queen ability. Here we go. We are going to send the king in for this world champion and to actually take down this multi-archer tower and ricochet cannon so that my queen can actually push in towards this town hall and not take any of those additional damage from the multi-archer tower and of course that ricochet cannon. Now queen is safely moving into the town hall. As you can see, that Skelly spell is taking on to that monolith, and luckily with the king beating on the wall with the gauntlet, it did do splash damage and took down that single. So that was super duper nice there for me, because now the Root Riders are safe to come in from the 12 o'clock side, because you cannot wait forever until the town hall is out and before you start the push, because you can run into potential risk of time failing there. So either way, here we go. We have the headhunters swarming in through the base under the rage and under that eternal tone to actually get through and push through this enemy king and to push through this enemy archer queen there. We do have the queen ability still intact with this mini warden, a princess warden right there, because with this princess warden, I do typically like to use it on the queen, especially when she's going into a lot of damage like she was there, to give her that extra HP boost so that she is not going to have that risk and potentially going through ability at an early stage. Nonetheless though, we do have the queen ability, we do have a RC, and we do have a freeze still in the pocket, which does look like it's going to be an overwhelming triple just because that Queen Charge opener with the Yeti blend with the Barbarian King funneled her into the Town Hall, and then following that up with the Root Riders did actually overwhelm this space and was enough to get us this 40 cups and a triple. So now that we've looked at the very first space, let's look at the next space of single Inferno towers. And next up is going to be this common box space, and we do have 2 core single Infernos, which does actually prevent this Queen Charge idea that I usually typically have, but instead we are still going to make it work nonetheless. Now the only difference, what I used to typically do on this one, is that I usually try to send my Barbarian King in for this Town Hall to be able to pick off this Town Hall there, but because of this invisibility tower there, it actually prevents me from being able to actually send my king in there, because the king gauntlet splash actually takes down that invis before the town hall goes down, which then makes that town hall invisible. So nonetheless, in this case, I am kind of a little bit forced to use the Yeti bump there, but the only good thing about using the Yeti bump there is that it got me the CC pool. So I feel like it is a good trade-off, because if I didn't use the king for town hall, I'd use the king for this back end for the RC. So either way, we just flipped it and used the king for this back end instead of being able to use a drill there. We are going to initially start off with the CC there. I will go ahead and fast forward a bit, just a little bit, just because of the ice golem, which takes like 5 to 7 business days to take care of. And now we are going to push through the queen to go to the right hand side, because you can already see where I'm going with this. Because of these Teslas there, it is just add additional bonus for this Queen Charge. Because with this Queen Charge, I want her to go inside of this compartment to go in towards this monolith. And that's why I'm starting the Root Riders early, because I want to kind of relieve this damage off of this queen, and also making sure that I can push this queen towards the monolith and the singles, because those are the biggest threat with this Queen Charge. So queen pats up because of the wall break. The queen does go to the storage, but luckily with the help of the wall breakers, I am going to be able to get into this monolith and single compartment easily. Unfortunately there, the Monolith does target my Queen instead of the Skelly because I was a little bit late and off with that Skelly spell, but nonetheless, the Queen is going to be just fine because I am just going to force the ability at this point because I do not want to use the spells on the Queen because I still have this back end to go through. So the King going in with the Reriders actually benefit and help push through the back end heroes and that deadly compartment which had the ricochet cannons in it because of its ability. And I was able to take advantage of that King bug and go through the core. And now with the extra help of that King being up, RC being up, and the Queen being up, I am going to finish this one off in a good fashion way to get this 40 cups because how this Queen charge is still alive because I pushed her in there while using the Root Riders to actually create that funnel and relieving those damage off of the Queen to redirect her to target the prime threats of Root Riders, which was the Monolith, and of course the single Inferno Tower. So really great hit for a 40 cups there. But now let's move on to the very next box base. Alright, next up we do have this pretty annoying looking box base there. Now if you're looking for Queen charge, this does actually look a little bit annoying. I couldn't really decide and depict on which angle I wanted to go in other than just charging the Town Hall. Maybe the Town Hall is a little bit risky there, but either way, we only had 30 seconds there to actually plan this out, and this was just the only one good pathing I saw, so I was going to do it nonetheless. I think with this Skelly trap placement, it was actually key there. I just made a mistake and not used any of my Hog Riders. I probably should have used the Hog Rider to be able to lure the Skelly before, because now I'm just having to waste spells. And I really didn't want to use the invisibility there. I just did not think it was ideal because now I'm taking 4 Expos, a Warden Tower, which made it pretty deadly there. So what I had to do, because I used the invisibility spell early there, was I had to start using the Root Riders super duper early because I wanted to switch these damage and split them so that I wasn't all directly targeting my Queen, but I wanted half to go to my Queen and half to go to the Root Riders. So that was a bad call on using the invisibility spell early, because if I was able to use the invisibility spell instead of having to burn the freeze there on the Expo, that would have been perfect. Nonetheless though, I used the battle drill. If you did not know, I used the battle drill to actually funnel this scatter compartment so that I could push all of my Root Riders through to the Expos and through to the core, because I wanted to get the healer transfer and have this Queen also go behind this whole entire smash, because now with the Ice Golem CC, you can see all of these Root Riders actually thin out here and all die because of the Ricochet Cannon. The 3 Rage Infernos was something you would never want to go through while engaging the CC as well. So unfortunate there, but the King did actually step out of the compartment instead of being with the push, so that made it a little bit unfortunate and made it a little bit difficult for the Root Riders and the Queen and RC. But I guess it did benefit me in a way because it was able to survive a support on the cleanup nonetheless there. So really a little bit sketched there to begin with the Queen charge. Ideally, I think you can manage it a little bit better by pulling the Skelly spell and then using your spells efficiently, and adding that Princess Warden would have been able to support the Queen and boosting her in that HP. That way you wouldn't have to necessarily go through ability as early as I did there. So nonetheless, there we are going to wrap this up. A little bit of a sloppy triple, but we'll take those any day. And another 40 cups on the board just like that. So let's proceed to the very next replay. All right, and next base is going to be this diamond base, which does have 2 single Infernos by the Town Hall. And you may just be wondering, what am I doing here? Because it does look like I am going to charge the Town Hall with this one. Now, with this base, I kind of do want to charge the Town Hall in a way to where Queen will step into here and go this way so that I can actually send a battle drill through this single Inferno, the tank. So that's essentially what I'm trying to do there. A little bit unfortunate, even with the Princess Warden, all of that damage is going to be able to take down my Queen and force her through ability at the start. So that was a little bit unfortunate there, but that's just the risk you kind of take when doing these typical Queen charge into that much damage there. So Coco Loons already coming in. It is really great, the Coco Loons, being able to test and see if there were any traps, because typically that charge would actually be the most ideal one to be trapping, because that's the most common one I do on this specific base. So nonetheless, with this Tesla there, this Tesla is all the difference that it makes for my battle drill to actually not be able to go to the single. As you can already know, my battle drill is coming because I wanted to sneak it into the single Inferno to be able to take both of these single for my Queen to swarm in for that single Inferno. But because of that, it actually made the drill path toward the wizard tower, but luckily here, it turned back for the single inferno, and you can already note how many spells I am investing on this queen charge, because keeping her alive is the most important thing of doing this attack. And if we actually take a look at the root riders, we are seeing the ice golem freezing all of my heroes, and my root riders there are already thinning out, and I do believe I lost all of them except for that last one that I actually sent in. So that was super unfortunate there because of the ice golem CC. But that is just what it is. We are going to have to go through the base. Now it does look like we only have the fox with the RC, and we have that lonely root rider there swarming in, taking down both scatter, both ricochet, and of course that monolith there, so that my king can finish the rest of the base and my queen finish the rest of the base together, because now it is all about time. Because I have no root riders left in this attack, I am really just down on time, and that's why I wanted to invest so many spells on this queen to keep her alive so that she could support on this back end cleanup, because that I already knew with how long the start initially took, that time would always be an issue there. So I am forcing these cleanup troops, really thinking about how I should drop my cleanup troops because of time's sake, and that's why I was being super duper patient with dropping these cleanup troops, because I did not want the time fail there. So RC ability pop there so that I can get the RC to finish up on these storages. The queen bangs the wall doing queen things there, but it's okay because she does finally get out of the wall after 3 business days, and now is going to be able to support on the rest of the buildings to manage this triple just in time for yet another 40 cups on the board. So now let's proceed to the very last replay, which will be on a ring base. And finally, what we do have here is going to be this double poison ring base, which just may be one of the most common ring bases in Legend League. Nonetheless here though, we are going to start off with 2 barbs, a balloon, and then a yeti blimp here. The main goal of this yeti blimp was to be able to take down the multi-archer tower, expo, and of course getting that CC pool. But the bonus there, I was able to get down the world champion there as well. So really nice value with that yeti blimp there. Now, after the yeti blimp there, this queen is going to be stuck on ice golems, which will just take her a couple business days to be able to take care of. And with that in mind, I am already going to start establishing this funnel up here, because I'm going to take down all of these buildings up here so that I could potentially send my king inwards to go for the town hall. So that's the whole goal of this, was to be able to send my king into the town hall compartment. And it's going to be a little bit crazy, but I wanted to get this wall break right into here, so I had to wait until this dark elixir storage was down. So now I can send my king in, and now my wall breaker target's there, because now my king is going to be able to go straight into the court, and with the help of an invisibility spell, I am going to be able to get the town hall down with the king. So that was the whole goal there. Now I am going to want to start the root rider super duper early to relieve that damage and to push my queen down in towards the left side of the town hall compartment instead of going up and around into the push. But either way would have worked, because if she went with the push, the healer wouldn't have been able to transfer it, which we will take that as well. So that's what it does look like there. The queen does look like she may perhaps turn and go with the reriders there. And you can already see the barbarian king took down the town hall there super nicely for me. So now that this whole push is going to be able to push through this rest of the core and through to the back end. So queen does finish us off the king. And now with the help of the headhunters in that rage, it was going to be able to take down this enemy archer queen. Queen turns back around, going back for the left side of the town hall, which is a-okay because we do have plenty of spells. We did have 2 rages, and we had 3 freezes to use with the root rider push. So that was super duper nice, because that was way more than enough spells. So sending the king in for the town hall actually prevented me from having to use all of my spells on that queen charge. So that's the main purpose of sending that king in. Obviously, you could have just let the queen go in by herself and just start the root riders with the king in, but that's just one way I was doing it, just to see if it would actually work, and it just did work. So we will go ahead and take that any day and get the sporty cup on the board just like that. So we are going to finish the day pretty high up in Legends with a really great day, but now let's just go ahead and take a look how we finished on the day. And we did go ahead and finish the day with a 311 day and of course 297, as we did highlight replays from both of those days. So it was a super nice to be able to go positive on both of those days. Nonetheless though, we will go ahead and link the army description down in the comments, so make sure you guys go check that out. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, subscribe for more content just like this. Also, feel free to let me know what you guys all would like to see in our next video by me. But until then guys, I'll catch you all in the very next one. Ghost out.